roll up, everybody. One more went to mill, gather, come join. You know how we do it. You know why we do it. You know where we do it. Click here if you want to come join live on screen. So click here if you want to come join live on screen. Just as soon as I post it in there, you can click if you want to come join live on screen. One man went to know it is your man, not your boy. So that's the hyperlink for the thing. So we gather again to go through all matters Nigeria related. Have you
missing someone with all your heart. Missing someone with heart. How much you miss it, and you deserve. Right from the start, and you did it right from the start. Missing someone is as normal. Missing someone. Missing someone is as normal. Missing someone. With all your heart.
So there we are. Gather, come join. One man with Tamil. The daytime session. You know the routine. A quicker session, this one usually. The hyperlink there for you to come join me live on screens, live on screen. Matters related to Nigeria being discussed, and we're going to the farming community to see how the Southerners are responding to the Northerners. So we do that. The Nigerian army goes in search of the bandits, but how successful were they? We do that as well. And the PDP are requesting for a Twitter ban from the Western, not a Twitter ban, that was a Freudian slip. The PDP are requesting for a visa ban on APC politicians, especially Malam Buhari, Malame, etc., off the back of the Twitter ban. So we discussed that as well. So plenty to go through, and all that is needed now is your company. Introduce yourself as you're coming in. So let's just get straight into let's actually see which one we're starting off with first. If you want to come join live on screen, then just click on that hyperlink, and then that brings you straight on the screen as I try to sort myself out. Okay, yeah, so I'll put that in there. Okay, so now let's start off with the narrative of a young farmer who is now responding to the northern threat, a young southern farmer who is now responding to the northern threat of cutting off our food supply to the south. Guys, I bring you this. Young southern farmers react to northern farmers' threat of cutting onion supply to the south. So this is where we're going to now. It's now a food war. We're fighting on all fronts now, including what goes on in the kitchen. The other room, as Buhari will have it, but the other room is what we're talking about now, where the food is made. Young southern farmers react to northern farmers' threat of cutting onion supply to the south. So now let's now see now how this riposte takes place. Some young southern farmers have reacted to northern farmers' threat of cutting onion supply to the south. The farmers who showed off their harvest in a viral video told northern farmers to go with their onions as they can do without it. They added that they had a bountiful harvest even though they don't use fertilizer for their onions. So this is a tiny little story, but it speaks to that space now, this never-ending conflict that is going on between the North and the South. So you've heard me read it out. So now hear the man now say it in his own words.
In the southeast and the south side, I'll be waiting. But today, we have onion here. We can do without them. Yes. Look at it, though. Look at onion. Look at it. Very, very well. We are very fruitful harvest. But we don't even use fertilizer, but we have enough harvest like this. We can do without them. Look at them. Are you seeing it? Are you seeing them?
Very big, very big. See the head.
Very big. Mighty onion. So we can do without them. Yes. Let them go with their onions. Tell them to go with their onions.
Get lost with your onions, Omali, is essentially the riposte to the food war now that is going on vis-a-vis North and South within the Nigerian space. War at all fronts, as I said, and war against the bandits, a never-ending saga within the Nigerian space. So the war against the bandit, or is there a war against the bandits? Guys, I bring you this. Nigerian army makes no arrest, return empty-handed in major operation against the bandits kidnappers in Kano. So now a whole battalion has been sent out after these people, hopefully off the back of intelligence that they know where they are. So huge resources devoted to a massive operation. And what was the result? Zero. So this thing now that we're knowing the Nigerian class 4, the Nigerian space 4, Olodo Central, as again, Nigerian army makes no arrest, return empty-handed in major operation against bandit kidnappers in Kano. So now let's find out exactly what's led to this. The Nigerian army said on Wednesday that its troops conducted clearance operations against bandits and kidnappers in Kano State, but no arrest was made. The Army Director of Public Relations, Brigadier General Mohammed Yerima, said in a release that troops were at the notorious Falgore forest, where they blocked the routes of the bandits and kidnappers terrorizing the Northwest region. The Army's operation in the Northern Hemisphere is in contrast with the Southeast, where its personnel had continued to shoot dead and arrest cause of indigenous people of Biafra agitators. Yerima said, Nigerian army troops, in a bid to ensure the return of socio-economic activities, which were hitherto hampered by the activities of bandits and other criminal elements, 1st Division Nigerian Army, in conjunction with personnel of the Nigerian Police, Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corporation, as well as local vigilantes and hunters, embarked on a special joint clearance operation in Falgore Forest and other flashpoints in Kano State. The clearance operation, which is still ongoing, is geared towards complementing the efforts of the standby troops at the forward operating base in Falgore, with ultimate aim of making sure that bandits, kidnappers, and other criminal elements from neighboring states do not infiltrate into the forest and any other part of Kano State to carry out their nefarious activities. Consequently, we wish to reassure the good people of Kano State of the safety of their lives and property, and also urge them to continue to report suspicious movements of strange individuals or groups in their vicinity to the nearest security agency for prompt action. The Nigerian Army, in close operation with all the stakeholders on security, is determined to ensure full return to normalcy in Kano State and other adjoining states in order to enable law-abiding citizens go about their normal businesses without harassment by criminal elements. So joint operation by the Nigerian Army, the total results are a big fat 0, and of course they are now recording score mark for the entirety of the 6 years of Buhari. A big fat 0. Let me just bring you this one. Actually, Buhari is in Lagos State, presumably to commission something. Buhari visits Lagos ahead of June 12 protest. So very brave of him to go to the epicenter now of resentment against him. Buhari to visit Lagos ahead of June 12 protest. Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari will visit Lagos on Thursday to launch the Deep Blue project of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency. According to Foundation for Investigation Journalism, the visit was confirmed on Wednesday by the state police spokesperson, Muyiwa Adejobi. The Deep Blue project is meant to strengthen national security on land, sea, and air, as initiated by the Federal Ministry of Transport and the Federal Ministry of Defense. However, June 12 protest is scheduled to take place at Freedom Park, Ojota, Lagos, 2 days after Buhari's visit. So he would have been in and out, I'm assuming, before the protest takes place. Correspondents reported earlier about the reception organized in Ikeja, Lagos, for the visit of Nigeria's Inspector General of Police, Usman Al-Khali Baba, on Wednesday, that was disrupted by thunderstorm. Baba, who visited the state governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, at the State House Marina, was expected to address men of the command when a heavy rain started and dispersed the guests. So that's just that one, Buhari visiting Lagos. So now to the story that part of the third story that was advertised, the visa ban against Buhari, etc., and it's a band of merry men, at least has been requested by PDP. Twitter, slam visa ban on Buhari, Malami, Lai Mohammed, PDP beg UK, US others. So that visa ban, of course, a tool that was used effectively during the Edo elections. So now let's now see now if we get a rinse and repeat as requested by the PDP. Again, Twitter, slam visa ban on Buhari, Malami, Lai Mohammed, PDP beg UK, US others. So now let's now see what's been said here. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, called on the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, Saudi Arabia, and other members of the international community to immediately impose visa ban on President Muhammadu Buhari and members of his cabinet involved in stifling free speech in Nigeria. The PDP predicates its demand on the violation of the UN International Charter on Human Rights by President Muhammadu Buhari by banning the use of Twitter in Nigeria. The PDP insists that banning Twitter in Nigeria is a clear violation of Article 19 of the United Nations Charter, as well as Sections 39 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, which guaranteed freedom of expression to all Nigerians. The party also urges the world bodies to also sanction the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, as well as certain leaders of the APC for their individual ignoble roles in the ban imposed on Twitter, in addition to associated harassment and threats to Nigerians. The PDP urges the country to bar President Muhammadu Buhari, Lai Mohammed, Abubakar Malami, and their family members from entering their territory for any private purpose whatsoever. For the avoidance of doubt, Article 19 of the United Nations Charter on Human Rights provides that everyone has the right to freedom of opinion and expression. This right includes freedom to hold opinions without interference and to seek, receive, and impact information and ideas through any media, regardless of frontier. In the same vein, Section 36(1) of the Nigerian Constitution as amended provides that every person shall be entitled to freedom of expression, including freedom to hold opinions and to receive and impact ideas and information without interference. Our party holds that the trio of President Buhari, Lai Mohammed, and Abubakar Malami and their agents cannot continue to enjoy diplomatic privileges and rights extended by virtue of their offices in Nigeria, whilst at the same time blatantly flouting the United Nations Charter, which Nigeria is a signatory to, as well as the 1999 Constitution as amended, upon which provisions they hold their offices. This is more so as the stifling of information flow has been witnessed in the ban on Twitter further creates an enabling environment for abuse of human rights and acts of terrorism against our country. The PDP calls on the international community to hold the trio of President Muhammadu Buhari, Lai Mohammed, and Malami responsible for the escalated abuse of human rights, constitutional violation, as well as situations that embolden terrorists, bandits, kidnappers, and vandals in our country. Furthermore, our party has commenced the compilation of a list of PDP leaders involved in infringing on the rights of Nigerians for onward transition to the United Nations and other world body for sanction. Other world bodies rather for sanctions. So that is Kola Ologbondiyan, of course, the excellent publicity secretary for the People's Democratic Party of Nigeria. So Baba Akure, you look to relax. You should be agitated and fighting for Oduduwa. Baba Akure, why are you so relaxed? Good to see you.
Good morning. Good morning. Me. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
wait, Baba Akure, before you say anything, let me bring you. In fact, let me remove you and bring you in properly, because now you have to be brought in properly now. Now that let's bring Baba Akure in properly, because Baba Akure has his own jingle. The jingle for Baba Akure, where are you? So yes. You know, I have to go and look. You know, I have to go and look for that song by itself. You know, I really, you know, because I like that kind of. Yes, I have to go and look for. But to the narrative.
Well, let me start with the issue of onion that those guys planted at the back of their house. If you look at that environment, you will see that it was not in the farm. They planted that. It is just beside in their compound, just maybe beside their house. That was where they harvest as much as that onion. That is what we are saying. We have a very good fertile soil. If you can at least do little thing at the back of the house, at least you won't be thinking about Montana bringing onion to the south.
No, in fact, this space that we're in now, it gives us that golden opportunity to completely go for self-sufficiency and make sure that we're not dependent on anybody for anything.
That is, I can tell you. You see, I always bring the issue of Yoruba nation into this conversation, right? I said to one of my friend, I said one of the things is that why I'm really interested in this Yoruba nation is that where we know that there is no job, but people really want to go to farm, but due to the fact that Fulani herdsmen, when you plant your yam, plant your corn, they bring their cow and eat up the food. So this discouraging people from going to the farm. Then I said, if we,
you know, we're going to feel the impact of this thing heavily very soon. This thing, because that Benue State, that area, that belt is where we get the bulk of our yam. And if they, what do Nigerians eat other than yam? Only two things we eat in Nigeria: yam and rice. You know, so
and cassava, and
cassava and gari, yes,
food that we have. So, and I said, if we get this, that is, in fact, people will go back to farm. Because even me, I really want to invest in farm.
Me too.
But you cannot have land where you planted something and one animal, they just bring a malu to come and eat up your crop and just dismantle millions of naira that you invested on farm.
Baba Akure, can I tell you something? There's a chap that used to come here at Zero. He was narrating just on this platform a week or so ago. We were talking about this space again, the Fulani herdsmen, etc. And he was narrating. This guy has about 40, not acres, but hectares, 40 hectares of farmland that is cultivating in that Oyo State region. So these Fulani men, they will come in and they will savage the place and they will attack his workers and, you know, cut them up with cutlasses, etc. So this was happening and happening and happening. After a while, since 2018, that guy has abandoned that farm. So I'm talking about 40 hectares or 40 hectares. That's millions of dollars, never mind naira or anything. So and we have had that example of somebody that has narrated a direct experience of this thing. You know, so this is what is going on.
Even the small scale farmers in my village, people cannot go to the farm because when you plant your corn, when you plant your yam, there was a guy I was talking to the other day. He showed me his yam farm, and he said he met Fulani. They brought the cow into that farm. He was even begging them in your own land, in your own farm where you planted something. They bring cow. He was even begging them to leave the place before they left. Do you want to tell me that they don't know that is farm? They know, but they are just wicked. So
you know, Baba Akure, I wonder what goes on in the head of these people, because no matter how dumb they are, they know that is a farm. They know that it's been cultivated and planted by somebody, and they know that that person is looking to make a profit from it. So when you then take your cow into that space to just wreck the whole place, what exactly do you think you are doing? What is going on in that mind, Baba Akure? What is going on in
Because we'll be talking about this. I think they know what they are doing, and that is and what they are planning to do is what we are seeing right now by threatening us that they don't want to bring onion. So they want to destroy our own farmland. Then when we say something that make them vex now, they will cut food supply to central part of Nigeria. Remember, last 2 months they also cut supply of tomato, in which they had to go to one of the northern country close to them, maybe Cameroon or Cameroon and I think Benin or some places like that. When they got there, it is even cheaper over there than in Nigeria. Then they had to bring it back to Nigeria and start. They start calling us. Making a meeting with this man from Kogi and Fani Kayode to make sure that they bring it back to the south. So that is what they are trying to do. They want to destroy our own farmland so that they can control us anyhow with their own food. But the earlier we can be doing little things like what you just showed now in our backyard, the better for us.
Okay, Baba. So to the visa ban on these people that
the issue of visa ban, I don't see how that correlates with the issue of Twitter ban. That, to be honest, now the only time that European Union, US, Canada, UK can put ban on them is if they cut out a method of passing information, like maybe like they cut off internet, they cut off Facebook, they cut off phone call, they cut off all the social media. Okay, I think with that will warrant PDP to be talking like that.
Okay. And to the Nigerian army going into the forest in Kano State, full scale operation, and they come back with absolutely nothing. You know, they didn't even pick up a chicken on the way back.
What do you think they are going to get? What do you think? When those who are sponsoring the same bandit is among them. Do you remember that about a month ago or 2 months ago now, they claimed to us they arrested about 400 people, 400 financial of Boko Haram. Do you hear anything about it since then now? So they are just fooling themselves. They know what they are doing. They want to go to the bush. Somebody must have already informed them that, oh, we are coming to so place, so you guys need to move away from that place. Is it not Nigeria we're talking about?
But Bakure, let me quickly bring you this narrative, because it is breaking, and this is just now Buhari appearing on Arise TV, and this is some of the things that he's saying. Nigeria building rail to Niger Republic, so I don't cut off my cousins and family members there. This is what Buhari said on national television, and I shall be putting up the video of that interview on the channel sometime today. Again, the headline: Nigeria building rail to Niger Republic, so I don't cut off my cousins and family members there. So we all know that Buhari is from Niger Republic. So this is now him now saying this, and he said this in an interview in Arise TV, by the way. So this is not anybody misquoting anybody. President Muhammadu Buhari has justified the decision of his government to construct a rail linking Nigeria with the Niger Republic, despite criticism that has trailed the announcement of the plan. Speaking during an exclusive interview broadcast on Arise TV, Buhari said the government's decision to connect Niger with Nigeria by rail through Kano was to allow his Nigerian relatives easily access Nigeria. I have cousins, family members, etc. in Niger Republic. I shouldn't just cut them off, Buhari said. He also cited transportation of oil from the neighboring country to Nigeria and job creation as other reasons for constructing the rail line. The Nigerian government had, in January 2021, signed a memorandum of understanding with Mota Engil Group, a multinational engineering and construction company, for the construction of the $1.9 billion Kano to Maradi, Niger Republic rail project. Rotimi Amechi, Minister of Transportation, signed the agreement on behalf of Nigeria, whilst Antonio Gua, Managing Director of Mota Engil Group, bear with me. Sorry, I was just downloading that video. If I can still get a clip of it up in the course of this session, I shall. So just bear with me. Let me just do that quickly. Rotimi Amechi, Minister of Transportation, signed the agreement on behalf of Nigeria, whilst Anthony Gua, Managing Director of Mota Engil Group, signed on behalf of the firm in Abuja. The rail line is expected to run through Kano, Jigawa, and Katsina states and terminate in Niger Republic territory. The 283-kilometer rail line, besides developing freight and passenger transport, is the 283-kilometer rail line, besides developing freight and passenger transport, as it will be integrated with rail transport, will make a great contribution to the local economy, as well as important developments in the social sector, Amechi said. So this is it now. You see, you know that they try and hide this guy away from the public, so he doesn't make public appearances too often. So the reason why they are hiding him away from the public is what we are seeing now. Because anytime you put this guy on the camera, he will just say what he's thinking. And then, of course, we know when they put him in front of the camera, he told the Igbos that he's going to genocide them. When you put him in front of the camera again, it tells you that he's using Nigerian money to build railway system for his people in Niger Republic. He said this coming out of his mouth, captured in video and audio. So there is no denying it. He is using Nigeria's money to build a rail service so that his relatives in Niger Republic can transit easily through Fulani land. So Fulani Railway at the expense of the Niger Delta dollar. This is Nigeria, Isaac, or is this Nigeria even? Actually, Ovie, go to that.
My. I mean, I came on just to, talk about the interview with the president.
Yes. Have you seen it?
Yes.
Are you still defending him? Are you still defending him after that?
Let me finish, please.
Unbelievable.
Please.
Let him finish. He is very hot. Let him finish.
I want you to. In fact, everyone. I want everyone, please.
Ovie, you've been bought.
Let me finish, please. I want everyone, please, to go watch that interview. And please, while you are at it, put every sentiment, every emotion aside. Watch that thing objectively, because that interview covers every aspect of Nigeria, every aspect and everything. Millions of Nigerians are curious about what this man thinks, and at least everything is covered in the interview. And I want us to have a very robust discussion about this, maybe in the evening section. Bia, just to tip in what you're trying to say, I'm a Nigerian. You don't need to buy me to speak for my country or however way it is. You don't need to, nothing. You understand? So I watched that as a Nigerian, and I mean, you are analyzing that it built railway to. Let me even agree with your narrative that yes, it built railway for a cousin and brother. What is wrong with that? What did your uncle do, Obasanjo?
My goodness.
What did your uncle do?
Listen. Hold on.
I'm shocked.
Which part of Nigeria is Niger Republic? Why doesn't it go to China and go and build them?
Abuse of power.
I am responding
to
Listen. I am responding to you based on how you understand it, because that is not how I understand it. I am saying that to you, and I'm putting it into you that if that is how you understand it, that yes, he built access to his own people. Fine. What did your uncle do for his own people? Instead, he seeded Nigeria.
Well, his people are Nigerians, not Nigerians.
That is not even one I picked. That is not even one I picked.
Who are Buhari's people?
That is not even the case Buhari is making for that question. That is not even the case Buhari is making for that question. I just responded to you like that because that is how you say it. Buhari make a very compelling argument for that, and I see nothing wrong with the argument he made with that question, in particular to that railway. You
Please, can I come in? I think I was here before.
Yeah, sorry, come in, Bia.
Respectfully, yeah. Thank you so much. I believe that this is why the politics we have in Nigeria is so dirty that people believe that they can just get in there and turn it to their gardens, their private properties. Because I believe if you are a politician being voted by the people, it becomes, certain that you are going to do away with religion, with emotions towards ethnicity. You are there to serve every region of the country equally. You are then a Nigerian. When you are being voted as the president of Nigeria, you are a Nigerian citizen. It doesn't mean that whether you come from Yoruba or Igbo land, you are there as a Nigerian citizen. You're not there as a Fulani. You're not there as an Igbo. And when you share funds, you should do it fairly so that every region are equally developed. Now, it is not fair. Okay, look, Nigeria.
My question is that
let me finish, please.
Are they not
this is not emotions. No, 1 minute. Let me finish, please. Yeah. The money is coming from Nigerians, and Nigerian gems. Do you know what I mean? Spend it. Look at Niger Delta. What do they have? It's like you give them money every day. they're not gonna, it's not gonna do anything to their lives. You're not investing into the lives of people. You're not harnessing their talents so that they can be useful for their societies and then the country in general. You know, when you give them that money, they spend it and they squander it. But you should teach a man how to fish. You know, do something, build industries. How about building those train lines from Lagos to Benin? Yeah, to your place of view, or to somewhere where that much. Well,
Bia,
wait, please. This is injustice. Come on,
sorry,
please.
sorry,
Bia,
sorry,
Bia,
Let me
Bia.
finish,
Bia,
Ovie, hold
Ovie,
on.
please don't cut me short, please, please, Ovie.
Sorry, Bia, hold on 1 second. Just to that mix, what economic benefit or value does a 2 billion Fulani railway to Niger Republic have to the
Imagine.
Nigerian state?
Exactly. That is the angle you
I'm coming
see
to
that.
that. I'm coming. Let me
when
finish,
the
please.
economy, hold on,
Ovie,
when
please
the
don't
economy
do this.
yes, sorry, when the economy of Nigeria is essentially from the eastern, southern, south quarters into Lagos. So what have you done first to facilitate for that before you are building Fulani railway so that your cousins in Niger Republic can come and do holiday? 2 billion.
Also bring in revenue.
What is the value cost? Do you know what value cost is, Ovie? Do you know what value cost is?
1 minute, please,
What is
Ovie,
the value?
please.
I'm not saying anything. I'm waiting for you to finish.
Hold on. Bia,
Please.
carry on.
Now, the resources are being put in the central port for the president to use for the betterment of the country, to develop this country. What did he do? He, abused his power and competency and then shit on our faces like, what can you do? Abusing all the money, using it to develop. He's bringing sentiment. He should be jailed for this. It's just like here in the UK, you're being put in power, and then you go and bring your cousins or your family member to come and run offices. Come on, man. What are we running in Nigeria? Has it become Osho the market where you just go, everybody will just be doing whatever they like, shitting everywhere? There is no analogy. There is no, accountability. There is no quality to his, existence in that power. He's abusing the power. And for him to even say that, what gave him that God? Does he think that no one, he's just behaving like a God? Come on, guys. Wake up. Or if you don't even say that, because that is an insult. That is insult.
You've made your case now.
Yes.
Let us respond. Yes. Now,
there are people, maybe that oil is not coming from your side. It's not coming from Benin. That money, that oil money is not coming from
your
Benin.
side. Is the thing.
You have made your case.
Money.
You have made your case. Let me respond to that.
Hold on. It's your money because the money is coming from your land.
You are
that they are using to build.
You are repeating
they are using to build
Fulani
railway.
Please,
okay,
let's save time.
Okay.
You are repeating
answer that and let's hear from the engineer.
I heard that clearly.
Carry on.
She made a case that is in Nigerian resources. Right? Mm-hmm. Are you telling me that Maiduguri, Gomborungala, which is border to Cameroon, is not part of Nigeria? Are they not Nigerians? If that is how you want to see it, are they not Nigerians?
No, what is your point?
So now away from that.
Is Niger Republic Nigeria?
He invested in Nigeria just because that part of Nigeria is not yours. Does it mean it's not right?
You have nothing to gain from Niger. What do you
Bia, please. Did you watch the interview?
No, you please.
Did you watch the
what are you talking about?
No. Did anyone watch? If you don't watch the interview, then you don't be making. I watched making case.
You know that road is going. Hold on, Ovie. Don't run away. You know that road goes 300 kilometers into the Niger Republic. They had to beg Niger Republic to let us build it. Do you know how much it's going to cost us to build that Niger Republic part of that railway system? Close to $350 million. $350 million investment in Niger Republic.
And that is not that. There will not be control of immigration.
That money,
immigration. Those people will just come in anytime.
Immigration. What is immigration?
You guys are
repeating,
you are repeating the same thing. What is the problem now? Because you are saying so many things. What is your problem really with this? Is it the cost of the railway? Is it the idea that the railway is being put into that direction? Or is it
all of it? All of the above.
Then you are not being objective. If this road were to lead from Lagos to Cotonou, then how do you expect people from the north to respond? If they are responding like this, how will you feel?
What do we get from Niger? tell me,
Exactly.
apart
That
from
is why
what
I
do we
said
get?
that
We're
is why I
getting
said
nothing.
Oh, okay.
watch the interview. The man actually make it for
Don't
you.
worry.
Apart from
We'll
you
have
just
to.
pick you pick what suits you, which is I be my cousins, my
Well,
nephew. But you don't forget that he extended that to the Yoruba people too, that they have relative in Cotonou and every other places. So if a man decided to say,
they have
okay,
relative in Cotonou. So are the Yorubas building railway into Cotonou?
the
Is Cotonou
arguments
part
you
of
guys are
Nigeria?
making, arguments you guys are
Forget it,
making is
man.
very shallow
Forget
because
it's
if the
shallow. It's
location,
shallow. You are
yes,
spending 350. Oh man, you never
we
get
can
it anyway.
debate that too. We
You
can
never
debate the
do.
cost. We can debate the
Okay.
cost.
All right.
Who is the minister of
We'll play that
transportation?
video in full.
Who
We'll
is
Sometimes
the
I
play
think
that
minister of
you're a
video in
mole
full.
for the
transportation?
Nigerian
No.
Hold on.
I'm in
I think you're a
Nigeria.
mole for
I'm
them.
in Nigeria.
Okay,
I am speaking
let's
for
hear
my
from
country.
engineer.
Who is the minister
No,
of transportation?
you are not speaking for your hold
if
on.
the
You are
budget
not
is
speaking
too
for your
much,
country.
who is the
You are not
minister?
speaking for your country, okay? You are
No,
speaking for Niger
I am.
Republic. You are speaking for Niger Republic. So are you
There's
from Niger
nothing wrong
Republic?
if
Is the
Nigeria
question.
decides to
Because
annex. If I'm the president today, I will annex Niger Republic. So there's nothing
you
wrong
are
with
next
it.
to
If
you
you
are
are,
next to Niger
yes,
Republic.
because
Okay.
if we don't, they will
Congratulations.
one day.
And
If we
what will
don't, they
happen?
will one day.
Oh,
And that is
okay.
what you
All
are
right.
saying today. So
All
we
right.
can see this.
Let's hear from engineer.
This thing for what it is.
Emotion. What do you mean emotion? What do you mean emotion? A third world
Because
country
this
that
thing,
has no infrastructure is spending $500 million to invest in another country. What is the emotion in that? What are you talking about? What are you talking
if
about?
the cost is your
What
problem,
are you talking about?
is the
Have you been
minister
to
of
Bayelsa?
transportation?
Have you been to
Okay,
Bayelsa, where the oil is
come off
coming
it,
from? There
man.
are no roads.
Yes,
Hold
I
on.
wanted to compete for Bayelsa
Let's hear from
2009.
engineer.
So yes, I've been to Bayelsa.
Let's
And we
hear
have
from
a president
engineer.
from Bayelsa. What has he done? What did he do for Bayelsa?
Okay.
We have a
It
president from
did
Bayelsa.
not build
So I beg you,
roads to Niger
I
Republic.
won't blame that
Certainly not.
man. You are listening to him
Engineer,
objectively and
look,
see what is
hold on.
going on.
Engineer is doing school run, so let's hear from engineer. Engineer, good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you all. And
yeah.
you know, when it comes
it never changes in here, so it's the same. It's the same every day.
I've been Nigeria.
But engineer,
I'm trying to. No matter how
engineer,
I try,
let's hear from you. Let's hear from you, engineer.
Yeah, when it comes to the road to Niger, it's completely unfair and it's very bad. The reason why I said it's bad, if you look at it properly, there's no road in Nigeria. Let's start from there. Federal roads are just something else. There's no road in Nigeria. So how come you spend $500 million to another country? Someone with common sense can't do this. I keep saying it. But at the end of the day, don't get him wrong. When those people, they have been given money, have they done the state road? So it's something all of us, we need to think about it. They haven't done nothing. So that gives the man opportunity to do what he wants to do. That's just the truth. And when you come to the army again, I keep saying it, Nigerian military. So what else do you expect?
No, imagine that they're going to they've identified. You know, they would have had intelligence before they do the operation. So they've had intelligence. They know that these boys are there. They roll out a whole troop, a whole division with other security agencies as a paraphernalia, and they swept through a forest, trained army, and they came back empty-handed. This is Nigeria, and they are fighting terrorism.
Yeah, but why didn't they go to the southern forest and fight the Boko Haram there?
Yeah,
yes, I mean, let them even arrest somebody. They didn't bring anything back. It's really they came back empty-handed.
Yeah, but how can a bandit who arrest a bandit? That's the question.
No, that
is
true. Anyway.
It's true.
So what do you expect?
All right.
So that's the truth. They can't be putting us. I keep saying this. They are becoming to be given different excuses at all time. Till one will finish.
All right, engineer. This is going to be
really sad. A whole nation, a country that is big. We have every resources. I don't know why the leaders they are stealing. The president is doing one thing.
All right, engineer, you are fading, and this is going to be a short session. So let me shuffle you and Ayo. Do you want to have like not Ayo? Baba Akure, do you want to have a final word before I shuffle you as well? And then we'll meet again in the evening.
Yeah.
So Baba Akure.
So I want to reply back to what Ovie and engineer said. What Buhari did, it is very, very wrong. It doesn't really matter either they give governor money and they didn't do anything, or something. But what happened to the road that lead to Federal Capital Territory, where he lives? Can that money be spent on that road? So how many jobs have they created within the 6 years, within the space of 6 years that he has been on the Aso Rock? So what have they done regarding to employment? Every single day we hear about people are out of job, there is no job, and people cannot even feed themselves. Then you can take $50 million or whatever, but I know that it is more than that.
Yes,
I think it was about $1 billion they used to construct that road.
No, it's $1.9 billion to construct the road, but the part of it that goes into Niger Republic, that is going to cost about $350 million, and they even had to beg Niger Republic so that they can waste
I heard that from the man from Port Harcourt, Rotimi
Amechi, yes.
Yeah, he said that they have to beg on their knee to build a railway station
in a foreign country
to Niger Republic. That is one of the things we are seeing today.
Is Amechi a Fulani man? I'm curious.
We see that Nigeria is.
Amechi is a functionary, is a hired help. He will do as he's told.
You can see that.
Is it Amechi's decision to build road? Are you trying to suggest that Amechi wanted to build railway into Niger Republic?
It's not Amechi. I watched one episode, 1 minute. I watched one I think it was a BBC interview or something like that. And these people from these Niger places said most of them have been trekking, trying to find a way to relate to their cousins in Nigeria. So they were pleading that they cannot leave their cousins in Nigeria. They have to find a way, to come to Nigeria. They can't do without their cousins. That is what is happening.
Isn't it better for them to just have their own country? And
they cannot drive.
And the president caring for his own people.
They're asking for it and they're begging for it. Me, I'm aware of that. I saw it and I watched it.
The main objective that I see here is for Fulani to be trooping to Nigeria. That is all the motive.
Oh, now I just realized. You just realizing that. It's too late.
So you know, Baba Akure, as Abia said, there will be no immigration system in that place. So once that railway is completed, that means then Nigeria effectively extends then into Niger Republic. So that's now part of Nigeria. Very soon they will tell us they have voting rights in Nigeria. And very soon they will take over.
Yeah, but one of the ministers also said that, like what Ovie said. One of the ministers said that I don't know, maybe it is the same road to me. Said that even if it is possible, they will merge Niger Republic will be 36 state or 37 state of Nigeria.
No, that was Benin. That's
Benin Republic. They actually came. But
we are praising that. We are all praising that. I say it's a good idea. But
Baba Akure,
a bad idea.
Baba Akure, thank you. Let me shuffle you for this last voice. So Ayo, let's hear from you. This is how they are spending your money judiciously, no doubt. Building Fulani Railway, and the president, no less a person, with a voice coming out of his mouth, is telling you that how will his cousins come for Salah if he doesn't build them a railway? $2 billion Nigerian money, but then of course you cannot even drive from Lagos to Ibadan. It's like a ferry ground ride. This is Nigeria, or is it Nigeria? So
yeah, I mean this is so upsetting, and Ovie has taken his sycophancy to a whole different level.
No, Ovie is just trolling. I think he's just trolling. I don't think. No,
he has to be trolling. I mean,
no, you are just being contrarian. You are being contrarian for the
now,
sake of
now
it. You
they
cannot.
see it's
No,
you guys.
can't.
You
No
guys
one
are
is
knocking
this
on the
naive.
gate.
Please, because
Yeah?
I don't have much time. Please.
Yeah.
So, it seems to me like I don't know if Ovie is trying to find some contract in Nigeria. Or he's just sort of like
No,
being
leave
as ridiculous
over
as
it.
he can.
Speak
But
to.
I think you hit the nail on the head the right time. There's
Mm.
absolutely no value to constructing a rail line from Nigeria to Chad. I mean, not to Chad, to Niger. Niger is
yeah.
even in African standards, Niger is one of the poorest countries in Africa.
Virtually
total-
zero resources.
Yeah, the total trade between Nigeria and Niger
It's
is less than $200 million. The trade between Lagos or the western area of Nigeria and the east and the south is billions of dollars. It would make more sense for that rail line to run from Lagos to Port Harcourt or Lagos to somewhere in the east. That's what would generate revenue. That's what would enhance Nigeria's income. But and this guy, for him to come out and blatantly say that he wants to be close to his family and cousins, why is this guy the
That
president of
wasn't
Nigeria?
the only reason, for God's sake.
No,
Just
No,
go
hold
watch
on.
this clip.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Even if it's not the only reason, the fact that it's a
They said
consideration,
it.
the fact that it's a consideration, it's in
This
the
is
mix.
it.
It's not embarrassing. Just care for it.
disqualifying.
Hold
As a
on,
man
Ovie.
cares for his people.
Okay, there you
The
go.
fact that
There we are.
the fact that that's a consideration is disqualifying.
No, but Ovie has said
That's-
it. That is a man who cares for his people.
Right.
You know,
And-
so
And his
this-
people are
so you-
Nigerians.
How
Of
can
course,
anyone-
his
how can
people are
anyone know
Fulanis.
this? How can anyone know this and have a leader who is so nepotistic and slanted towards his ethnicity
Clannishness was
And
the
still-
words that Obasanjo
Right.
used. Clannishness.
and still
He has been like that for the past 50 years.
and
I
still
don't know why we are
vie
complaining now.
for this guy to champion the Nigerian project, even if you're a one Nigeria or you're hoping for a better Nigeria. This guy has disqualified he's disqualified himself, just by that statement. Niger, no matter what,
Ayo,
no matter how-
just to interrupt you, the two instances now that we've heard this guy come out into the public space, we have been alarmed by how his mind works. The first time he came out to say that he was going to genocide the Igbos, and now he's telling us that his loyalty is to his people, his
Right.
family, who are
No,
the
but
Fulanis.
listen,
And
exactly.
again, if you watch that video, if you watch that clip, he also
okay.
give the same
Hold on,
direct.
Ovie.
So this is the thing.
Let's
So
take
let me
over
just
too
add. Let me just add this as well. Ayo,
Right.
that's 2 billion that they are spending on Fulani Railway. That's
Right.
not the end, because that railway is not economically viable.
No, it's
so
not.
forever until the end of time, the Nigerian state is going to continue to subsidize that railway, because it
course.
cannot stand as a commercial entity. So
Right.
therefore, it's going to forever be substituted by Nigeria, because
if Nigeria stands, this has to be the priority of the next leader. If Nigeria stands, that railway needs to be jettisoned. I don't know that it's going to be completed by 2023. I think it's just
they are going to complete it, because that was the pledge that they made. So all resources will be devoted to, because he knows that if he leaves, that is the end of it. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I think it was recently commissioned, but I don't know that even as optimistic as he would like to be. And the fact that I think it's being constructed by China, he's trying to get a loan from China. Even that's dicey, because all that that loan,
controlled by Portuguese.
that loan I think was signed for after Niners pretty much just put forward their force majeure. So I don't know. It's risky, but in any event, if Nigeria remains as one, the next leader needs to decommission that. He needs to get rid of it as soon as possible. It has no value. It's clearly it's a bad idea.
But look at the waste,
first of
though.
all, Nigeria is,
Even if they are bad,
in poverty, Nigeria is poor enough. We don't need to import more poverty from Nigeria.
all these dirty, dusty people, they will just be trooping in
Right.
en masse.
I mean, this is crazy, and then you don't want people to leave this flawed union. Seriously, you want all these dusty poor people who there's nothing wrong with poor people. Don't get me wrong. I'm not being elitist.
No, but
you-
not say but like you said, we have enough
people
poverty in our own
a
land.
lot of them don't want anything better. A lot of them are happy with the way they're living, which is fine. But don't impoverish the rest of the country by making it easy for these people to
importing
right.
poverty. Yes.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's just nuts. I mean, if any, people just need to double down on their efforts to get rid of this guy or split the country up, because this is obviously getting to a point where, you know, this guy he should not be in leadership. This guy has never left his village. Obviously, he has no concept of what a leader should be, and he's
completely clueless and it makes sense in his own head. This is the alarming thing. It makes sense in his own head.
He's using money from the South like it's his birthright, like it's his money.
This is it.
It's people's money. This is so upsetting. It's so upsetting.
Does he understand the concept of nationhood?
Right.
Trump is building borders to keep people out. So fervent is he about his own country. You are using the resources of the Niger Delta to go and build Fulani Railway. I mean, what is the meaning of that?
Yeah,
God Almighty. But also just to that space, because I just want to skim through this quickly. The soldiers, they've gone into the forest, but almost countless dollars wasted on that as well to go and attack bandits, and they come back empty-handed. So
that's powerful the cause, because you know, that's obviously to be expected. So I don't know if you remember during the Jonathan era, when the Chibok girls got abducted, there was a report that the U.S. intelligence, through their satellites, found in the Sambisa forest where these girls were being held. They told the Nigerian government. They gave them the coordinates and everything, and then the Nigerian government went to rescue 2 days later, just to find everyone gone. And that was when the U.S. government realized that these terrorists were being tipped off by someone in the Nigerian military establishment. So this is no news. This has been going on for a really long time, and I mean, these guys are pretty much just so intertwined with Boko Haram and the Fulani bandits. It's almost laughable when they come out to say they're trying to fight them, because they're one. You know, they really are. The only people they're fighting are the Igbos and the rest of the South, if we don't allow them to grab our land. Those are the only people they're fighting.
So Ayo, so now these two now in quick succession instances that we've been able to access this guy's mind, Malam Buhari, and we have seen what is going on there. Then it sets even more that alarm. That alarm gets even louder. What this guy would have been doing in the 6 because anytime you look at the news, it's always the president from Niger that is coming to see him, the president from Chad, etc. So of course he's devoting a large chunk of Nigerian resources to that place. So it's not just the railway that is building in Niger Republic. If he wants his cousins to be taken care of, I'm sure he's building roads and hospitals in Niger Republic as well, which is good. If he's a philanthropist, if it was Bill Gates that has made you some money, he can go and do that. But
but he hasn't built in Nigeria. We don't have hospitals.
Not with Niger Delta money. This is can this even happen? It's almost, you know, we're in new realms within the Nigerian space.
Yeah, I mean, what is the South waiting for to cut off that oil? They need to cut it off.
This is the thing. I don't know. They're idiots over there. What is if they have people like Ovie, don't they? Apologist.
Before you come in, Ovie, let me make one clarification, please. Let me just make a clarification here. You know why I'm laughing? You know, the way you guys are responding. I'm in my 30s, right? And when APC, when Tinubu and co gave Buhari the presidential tickets, November 2014.
Oh, forget.
Let me,
I know, right?
They know we are not going and can I just make my point? No, I'm not. Okay, forget that I said Tinubu's name. When APC gave Buhari in 2014, I said Buhari is going to take us back 30 years. When they give him the ticket again, 2019, I said that's another 30 years. That's why I'm laughing. If me that's in my 30s know who Buhari was. How come you guys are surprised of what is happening? That's why I'm laughing. And two, please, I actually want us to go watch that interview. That is, in terms of the railway, that was not the only reason he gave. Please,
don't worry.
listen,
After this session, I'll be putting the interview up. But
you understand? So
finish that point.
I'm laughing based on that. But I am actually analyzing that guy's speech objectively. Based on what I see, I mean, no, you don't need to bribe me.
It is your objective conclusion that building a railway in Niger Republic is a good thing. Well done. But let's.
He make a case for that railway, other than say, "Oh, my cousins and my relatives." No, he must make a case.
Let's hear from Ayo, and then we'll go to the person that hasn't spoken. Yeah.
A sixth grader knows that if your trade between your countries is less than $200 million, you don't spend $1.2 billion trying to
1.9 now.
trade. Or 1.9, almost $2 billion trying to enhance that trade.
I agree with you, Ayo. I agree with you. I agree with you. When I keep mentioning I'm the minister, is this me as a person? If you put me in a place and you are making a policy I don't agree with and I can't change you, I will resign. I will leave. But when
that will be the first time that has ever happened in Nigeria.
When you decide to sit in and carry, because you must put he's the Minister of Transportation. Whatever
he didn't put his signature. He didn't sign.
Fulani Railway.
What do you mean by this sign?
Okay. All right. Hold on.
He appointed, just because he knows how ridiculous it is, he actually appointed an assistant to make that signature. It wasn't his. There's a whole video on YouTube where he was being interviewed about this, he was being asked questions in the Senate about it.
An assistant.
All right. This is a debate that we have to leave for later, because I've already gone past the 1 hour mark that I like to. But Polish third, let's hear from you. The judicious use of Nigerian money building railways, Fulani Railway to Niger Republic. So,
Mr. Woman, can I just clarify something? There's a few things you guys keep using that I think is very wrong. This Niger Delta doesn't exist, and bandit.
Oh, no. Just get out of here, man. Ego,
that's a political statement to divide us and conquer us.
I am here.
Yes. So to the space.
Yeah, let me tell you what Buhari did is an impeachable offense because it's an abuse of power. It's an abuse.
But
it's an abuse of power.
Now today, Buhari don't abuse power. Buhari himself, his whole being is an abuse of power.
His name is abuse on his own. So what we are saying is there is nothing we can do. See, sometimes people will be complaining, they kill my people here. Buhari didn't say anything. They are killing Gangai. They kill people in Buhari state every day, every 2 days. He has not been able to protect his people. You are telling him to come and protect people in Iganga? Our people should not wait for this man to come and protect anybody.
God bless you, sir.
Somebody, let me tell you, the day you cry for Buhari that you die in your place, Buhari is telling people, don't mind that idiot. 300 died in my place yesterday. Who did I cry to? That's what he is saying. So I'm worried when people begin to say, Buhari don't do this. We all understood. We all know his direction. We should please take our mind from where he is and concentrate on those leaders that we can lay our hands on and give them the trouble they need so that we can develop.
Amen.
Not only trouble, give them the punishment they need.
Amen.
You said?
Amen.
All right. Let's start rounding off our comments. So we'll take okay, Ego. So we'll take that as your comment, and then we'll take Ayo's comment, Engineer Ovie, and then Bia can round us off. So Ayo, for us, yeah.
I mean, it just seems like the space of 1 week in Nigerian politics is, I don't know, it's as ridiculous as all the mishaps that can happen within a century. First, we had Twitter. and then all these other things, and it just seems like it just gets worse and worse every day. So I don't know, but everyone is getting tired, and something needs to happen. I don't know what it is, but something needs to happen soon, or someone needs to come up with some sort of solution, because we're not even directly involved. I can only imagine people living on the ground and having to live through this sort of craziness day by day in Nigeria. I mean, it has to take its toll on the people. So I don't know, but I just hope that
it's turning into like a hellish. Oh, it's already a hellish place. I mean, imagine. So I can't get past it. Imagine justifying spending $2 billion on building a railway in another country, and in your head, that is exactly something the most judicious way to spend $2 billion of a third world country's money. This is what we are talking about so casually. It's frightening.
But do you know it's not the issue of even building the road. Do you know he named the president?
No, it's a railway. It's a railway. Yes, and he named the most important road in Abuja after the president of.
That's it. That can tell you.
So Fulani, you are saying you want Biafra, you want Oduduwa. These people have already perfected Fulani land, Fulani country, and by the time you are saying you are going, they are already gone. Ayo, thank you. Thank you. Engineer, you have the floor, so just let's hear your remarks.
Thank you. When you come to these people, I must be honest, I keep saying it. People are accusing Buhari this, that, and that. You see, when it comes to Niger Delta, NDDC, do you know the last conversation they had was why are they renewing the same document and they keep getting the same amount of money, and the place is not developed? So if Buhari can see that these people, they don't develop their own side, why can't he use the opportunity to develop Niger Republic? That's just the truth. But it's sad that at the end of the day, we elect somebody that he end up messing the country. But it's never too late. It's never too late. It's just now it's everyone to protect themselves and put things in place. And we pray that 2023, God will help us so we can fight.
Engineer, surely you must be seeing now increasingly that this thing called Nigeria, it can no longer hold, because you can hear in this space, even here now, that people find this unacceptable, that their money will be used to build a railway in Niger Republic. People find it unacceptable, and Buhari is justifying it that his cousins and families and relatives, they live there, and people find that unacceptable too. So people find it unacceptable, so therefore what should happen? And people say that they have had enough. They want a way, from this level of, because this is the heights. There's no higher nonsense than this. This is the heights of nonsense.
If they said they had enough, let's be honest, let's start from the state governors. They gave them allocation. If you go to most of the states in Nigeria, they don't have roads. Let's be honest to ourselves. What did they use the money for? So if they can make that error, why wouldn't the president make his own error? That's the truth. So sometimes we need to start judging things from home before going out.
It's tit for tat now.
No.
Exactly.
It's tit for tat now. The head should rattle and the legs start rattling too.
The word has always been like that.
Yeah, engineer has the floor, so let him just round off.
So at the end of the day, if these people can't do it, he will look at it. Oh, I gave you money. You can't even control your own state. So why wouldn't I do my own thing? Let me see who's gonna talk. That's what is happening in Nigeria. But it's so sad. But
all right, thank you, engineer. But you can hear the voice of people, and you can hear what they think. And this is people presenting their first raw emotions to this thing now. So it's not even anybody, this is just this is just unacceptable. There's no way to color it, to use Nigerian money to go and build a railway service in Niger Republic. It's completely and entirely unacceptable.
Before they build that road, they must have tabled it in.
No, it's a railway. It's a railway system.
Yeah, but before the railway, there must be something on ground. House of Assembly has to approve. The Senate have to approve. So what happened? That's the truth.
Yeah, but even why would he think that that is the thing to do? Because he's the president of Nigeria, not a citizen of Niger Republic. So what would he be something that is pushing?
Nobody is there to challenge him. That's the problem. Nobody's there to challenge him.
But is he challenging himself even? Where is his loyalty? Is the question. Is his loyalty to the is his loyalty to the Nigerian state, Niger Republic, or a greater Fulani hegemony that they are trying to create, like a Fulani kingdom? Is that where his loyalty is? And then if that is where his loyalty is, then can he excuse us from an Aso Rock and go and go about
when he came out with that proposal? When he came out with that proposal, I believe people should have counter-attacked him from there. So why did they keep quiet?
Okay. All right, but because that proposal was actually under Goodluck Jonathan's regime, but they did the feasibility study of that railway.
So they used Goodluck Jonathan to start the project.
No. They did the feasibility. You know, our government, they model everything to say, model this to see how it happens. So the modeling of that concept was done under Goodluck Jonathan's regime. But I think, engineer, will reconvene. Ovie, just quick words, and then we go to Baba Korea, and then Bia can finish it for us.
It's funny how they use different grammar to make an excuse for our people. He said, they say that good luck and they for conceiver. He said, no, not for modeling. The idea, that means the idea of that we have been convinced by our own uncle. I say, well, that one or another day is very, and again, it's sad the way we talk about the Northeast, because when we focus this attention on that part of the other part of the bargain, which is Niger, this and that, indirectly, we are also telling people from that region that they are useless. Because anytime development is taking place in our one region, how do you think they are feeling? They are also Nigerians too. But that's by the way, for me, that's even a shallow way of looking at it. But let me get on a very too important.
No. Don't make that point an escape, Ovie. Nobody is objecting to development in any inch. Nobody is Nobody is objecting to development in any inch of the geographical space of Nigeria. What people object to is $350 million being spent to build a railway service in Niger Republic, when there is zero infrastructure in Nigeria. And Buhari then saying that he's doing it for his cousin compounds the matter.
That process went through the necessary procedure according to the Constitution.
All right. So that justifies it then.
I mean, the man is not acting out of his own. Anything he said, he back it up with the Constitution or with the. I mean,
the Constitution facilitates for building railway in
one man. Just go listen to the interview.
I'm rendering it now. I'm going to put it on the channel. Yeah.
So listen to it. Don't read what paper.
No. I'm saying I've downloaded it. I'm rendering it now. So I'll put it on the channel.
President is saying.
Now let me and again to answer Bia about Tif attack, the word has always been like that. Now they just use religion and grammar to deceive us. Is the word that is the reality of life. Two, again, yesterday, 2 days ago, I make a comparison between the Fulani man and an Oyibo man. And one thing they have in common is the spirit of dominance. Anywhere they did, they want to occupy them. That's now waiting Oyibo did from day one. And now waiting the Fulani. Why are they always pay attention how these Fulani they move? These are strangers. They are not even Nigerians. They come and conquer that part of the region and by extension the whole country as it is now. So give them credit. If, as I said, if you as a leader, you as a person or a society or community, whatever you decide to classify it, if you don't dominate, you are leaving room for people to dominate you, and that's what's happening. So I give them credit for that. And again, I mean, give this administration the credit, man. They are playing this game at its best. Imagine, instead of us to be analyzing what is going to happen on June 12th, we're talking about the interview.
No. I mean, come off it. Ovie, are you being real? What some of the things that you say, they jar me somewhat. They jar me, What are we talking about? The road June 12th. When I mean, come on, man. Come on.
Don't you? No, I am.
Come on.
See, I am. Listen now. I am.
What are we
telling
talking
you,
about? We're talking about the
one man,
resources
one
of
man,
Nigeria.
one man,
Abba,
one man,
Abba.
one man,
Do you
one-
know?
one
Do you
man,
know how?
one man.
Have you driven
One
through
man,
Apapa,
put
the major
emotion
port?
aside.
Hold on.
Why
You
are
put
you
emotion
putting all
aside.
those on this president?
No.
I said, listen to that video.
Hold on.
We
Ovie.
don't go argue now until you listen to that video, please.
Apapa Port is the most important place in Africa, not just in Nigeria, because it
100%
supports
agree
the
with you.
biggest economy. Do you know the road
Yes.
to that place? If you are driving into the Apapa Port, it's not
I
a
live in
4-hour
Lagos for
journey.
10 years.
It's a 4-day. It's a 4-day journey. It's a 4-day journey just
You
to
are
drive
stressing
into
what I know.
within
You are
Lagos.
stressing what I know.
So that $350 million that they are using to buy Fulani Railway, that cannot be judiciously used. And to fix that road, that is adding a good $10 billion to the Nigerian economy, because it will save the vehicles that are breaking down there. It will free up the roads.
One man. You are saying what everybody.
You are justifying building Fulani Railway to Nigeria Republic. Come on, man. Come on.
I've listened. No, now listen to me. Those money we are talking about has already been spent. Me and you crying, shouting about it. It's not going to bring it back. That's one.
Oh, right. So we forget
Let me finish. Let me finish. Apapa Road they are talking about. Then bomb me that condition like that. Tinubu, listen. Tinubu was a Lagos State governor for 8 years. He practically owned that Lagos. Why are you blaming the problem who has been there for years?
Apapa Road is a federal road. Apapa Road is a federal road. What is Tinubu? It's a federal road.
If we take this narrative, we are going to make another big mistake again. Come 2023, we are focused on this man that is already out already.
So Nigeria has no use for the $350 million that they are gifting Fulani Railway. It cannot be used anywhere in Nigeria.
You know why I say you should listen to the interview? You understand? I don't think this man. I don't think this man is denying all these things you are saying, but he made a case. He made a case with even the ending of Nigeria for the past 20-something years. Where is those money wasted? Right?
Oh, what about Izemabi? What about? Is doing what about? Okay, Ovie, we reconvene in the evening. Sum it up in a few more words, because we can go round in circle.
Allow me to make. Okay, fine. We'll come back.
Make your point.
We'll come back. I bring June 12 narrative to tell you that it's a political season. Whatever this government does, whether you like it or not, it's political. It's a political move. They know the magnitude of that rally. If it didn't, happen the way they are planning it. They know it will take that shining light, that trending, that negative or positive that the administration received right now worldwide. It will take that away from it. That is why they decided to bring out this interview, to that event, and it's taking its course. And just as I always keep saying, when this administration come out and do anything, they are expecting two reactions: one from the masses like us, and two from the game players, from the elite. And that's why I say, go ahead and listen to this man, listen to all it. There were numerous questions that was answered, that was asked, and everyone was actually answered, and every aspect of the economy was touched. So I was saying, go listen to it objectively. Then we'll come back. We have a debate. We'll answer each question as it was put before him, and I think he respond to that, and we can go on for that. But this move was a good one to shut down the June 12th, and I give them credit for that.
All right. Thank you, Ovie. So the most judicious use of $2 billion is to build the Fulani Railway to Niger Republic, according to Ovie. According to you, Baba Akure, what do you say?
Well, there is no justification for spending $250 million to Niger Republic. It doesn't really matter. Either the governor has stealing money left and right. It still doesn't give Buhari audacity to build a railway station to Niger Republic. We have, even if let's say we want to use it in use it in the southern part of Nigeria.
Go and build something in Kano.
Exactly. Yes. You have a lot of places that you can use this money to in Nigeria. A lot of northerners are also suffering. They are also suffering. So it's not everywhere in northern part of Nigeria. It's also tough very well too. This money could be used in any of those places rather than just take it to build a railway station to Niger Republic. to me, what I see in that is, like you said, that they are trying to build a Fulani empire. I think that is the main point why he's doing that. It's not because of economy, because what economy does Niger Republic has?
Dusty people and terrorists. That is
Exactly.
their export. Dusty people and terrorists.
Because building, like you said, building Apapa road, we even generate money more than that of going to Niger Republic, or even construct a very. Let's just forget about the issue of train now. Construct a good road in eastern part of Nigeria, that or federal road that will lead to eastern part of Nigeria, or spend this money in is it Port Harcourt or Warri we have a shipping before that
to build a port there to free up Lagos, and the oil that they are bringing to Lagos, let them do the oil where the oil is. Just put a port there.
Exactly.
$2 billion will build one of the best ports on the planet, but of course, Fulani Railway.
Exactly. So there is no justification that no matter what, no matter how much corruption we're talking about in Nigeria, there is no justification for that money to be spent on
Fulani Railway.
Republic. And regarding to June 12th, a lot of things is going to happen on June 12th. No matter what they do, they can come to Lagos and commission 10 projects in one day. It still doesn't stop with June 12th rally. That is what I don't know about the issue of revolution, but I know for sure Yoruba agitator already planned that very day that they want to have a rally on that very day. They're supposed on the same 12th. That was when they're supposed to have rally, Ekiti State rally. But because of June 12th now, they earmarked that very day that they want to do general rally. That is why they move Ekiti rally from 12, and they did it last. I think it was last week. So forget about the issue of nothing is going to happen. A lot of things will happen. I don't know if bad thing will happen, but I know for sure that Yoruba agitators will come on the street. That is all what I know. I've been hearing some people now on platform that do you know where I can get sham? Because I want to
yes, this is it. We need one day at
Nobody you can give me a very good sham that I can use to protect myself.
There you go. We all need divine protection, really. Thank you, Baba Kore. So Abia, over to you. Make sense of it for us, Abia.
Well, conclusively, Ovie said life is give and take. And actually, life can be give and take if it is balanced in its fairness. If Nigeria itself, the structures of Nigeria has been taken care of by the government, voted by the people, making sure that every child in Nigeria is able to access good education, electricity, good roads, basic fundamental human rights and existences that would help them to become, better children or citizens of Nigeria. That would be good, excellent. But it becomes really unfair when none of these infrastructures are in place. I remember when I did my youth service in Bayelsa, Imiringi village. Just beside the school where I did my youth service was, where the Shell has or had their office. There was uncontrolled, non-stop burning of, crude oil remnants. And I could see all the poisonous remnants going into the water of these villagers. And remember, Bayelsa is 80% water and only 20% land, meaning that all their fishes will be poisoned and these people don't have nothing. This is where the resources of Nigeria, one of the resources of Nigeria, comes out from to help build the structures in Nigeria. If our president voted in to care for the citizens of Nigeria and help build our infrastructures, was able or is able to use all this money from the Niger Delta area to build any part of the Nigerian society, including his state, his areas in the north, I will be very happy. But it becomes unfair that this money is being spent in another country, Niger. You know, what benefit is that train line built from Nigeria into Niger do for Nigerians? What gain is it for us? Rather, it's going to bring more burden to our system. The border in the north is open. After construction of that road or that train, sorry, there will be influx of people from that area coming into Nigeria, you know, making the society even more ungovernable for anyone. And I believe that it could be that that railway that our president is building has been a promise to the Niger citizens so that they will be able to come into Nigeria to vote for him illegally. There must be a reason why he's doing this for them, a promise.
It's just unjustifiable, but you know.
Yeah, but it's one of the reasons. It's one of those reasons. So we need the chance for a referendum so that this unfair country, you know, of Nigeria by its government swallowing the talents of the born and the unborn can be totally dissolved so that people can go their ways to build their economies.
You recall that when Buhari came in and throughout his tenure, he was saying there was no money in the country, that the price of oil has fallen and it was boom time during Jonathan, etc. So he's telling us there is no money, but out of the little that there is, $2 billion to build Fulani Railway to Niger Republic. This is actually what they're telling us. It's frightening.
Buhari doesn't care for any Nigerian citizen. His incompetency is woeful and shameful. His tyranny, murders, corruption, and criminalism, oppressing the poor people of Nigeria, and non-accountability, non-fairness, non-equality for Nigerian citizens, you know, is really to the lowest level. I believe that he should be held accountable for his actions. Anyone listening to me now, if you're part of the international community, please do something about this. I know it is hard maybe to give him a visa ban, but he can't just treat his citizens like this and get away with it. He might try to find a way to kill us all, but actually, when he kills us all, then what? He steps down and carries on with his wicked ways. This sort of a man shouldn't be allowed 1 second on that position. I don't care if the governors, actually I care if the governors, you know, spend the money anyhow, but I believe the head is rotten, the body is nothing. So no corruption should be allowed in government at all whatsoever, and is not justified. That money he's spending in Niger is not the same as Nigeria. We are two different countries, and that money comes from Nigeria, should be used only for Nigeria and only for Nigerian citizens. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Bia. Well said. I can't really add much more to what Bia is saying, but of course, almost definitely this topic is going to dominate the evening session. So if you're not subscribed, then please do. I say this all the time. You come regularly, you engage with the session. The only thing that is required of you is just a quick click of that subscribe button, and then you're a member. And then, of course, click on like as well, so that the videos get traction. So this is just all that is required of you. I mean, I don't really need to add much more. This interview that Ovie is talking about, I'm rendering it as we speak, so I shall be putting it up on the channel within the next half an hour or so. So you can go and have a watch of it. And in the evening, we would almost play the entirety of it, because it's going to be the main thrust of the 10:30 session. So we reconvene for 10:30. Make sure you book your tickets. And by booking your tickets is to click on the notification bell. And of course, you should already be subscribed. $350 million free money from Nigeria. So Buhari has decided to use it to build Fulani Railway. So, and this, of course, is justified in its own head. So using $2 billion to build Fulani Railway is frightening enough. But the most frightening thing is that Malam Buhari has gone on national TV to tell us that this is justified. Is it justified or not? This is something that we will look to tackle in the evening. So this is the Nigeria that we have now, but I will show you a Nigeria that we used to have previously, which is the Nigeria that people anchor after. So before I bring you that experience of what Nigeria used to be, I'll invite you to come into the comment section to continue the conversation with me, and I'll join you there. But here I say peace. So this now is Nigeria, but this, what you're about to see now, was Nigeria.